بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Well, I've been having this back and forth on my comments with an atheist here, and I thought that actually I might be able to make some interesting content out of this conversation, and perhaps there's some benefits to be had. So this atheist here, he made some comments above. I don't have to go into all of that. For those comments, then I said to him, everything is a creation of God. So he says, nobody can of any religion physically produce a God. Faith religion is believing in the unseen. Creation by a god or gods is an ancient myth. Blasphemy. So I said to him, this is an easy one for atheists. Let's see where this goes. No atheist can physically produce an intellect. So if he has some wits, he'll stop there. He didn't stop there. So he gave me two laughs because he's arrogant. There is nothing intellectual believing in flying horses, splitting moon, and putting it back together. Believing in a God that refuses to reveal himself, but you burn in hell for eternity for not believing in the unbelievable. So I said to him, there's nothing intellectual about denying the existence of God because you never saw him. There's nothing intellectual about denying the existence of God because you never saw him. Because then you'd have to deny the existence of your own mind since you never saw it. Now, I know already if he wants to keep arguing, he's going to try to turn it into an argument about the brain. So when you use this on a atheist, don't use the word brain. Say mind. So he says, denying the existence of my own mind, I have seen my brain through scans. So I said, one, I said your mind, not your brain. Two, you never saw your brain. If you saw your own brain, then I think you might have a slight problem. And three, I don't even think you ever saw your own brain scans. Atheists always say that silly brain scan line, as if all you guys are going in for brain scans to prove you have brains. You never saw your mind or your brain. So looks like all the atheists are going to the doctors to get brain scans to make sure they have brains, or else they wouldn't be sure. So he said, I already told. I saw a scan of my brain. My mind is from my brain. You think from your brain. Your mind does not come from somewhere else. Although we know a strong saying, according to some scholars, that the mind is in the heart. So I said to him, and would you have known that you have a brain had you not scanned for it? Of course, I don't expect him to answer that question. And I would hope he would be silent there. The sooner a person is silent because of an imposing argument, I think that's indication of his intelligence. The more he argues against an imposing argument, for me, it proves that he's dumber and dumber. I said to him, insane people have brains too. So according to you, there is no difference between you and an insane person since you both have brains. I don't think he's going to answer that either. I told him, I'm simply asking, would you have known that you had a brain had you not done a scan? And I'm simply telling you that according to you, there's no difference between an insane person and yourself since you both have brains. So what he says, neurology has been around for a while. And through brain scans, CAT scans, etc., they can see a cloudy area of the brain is schizophrenia, where a normal brain does not have any dark matter. Human autonomy is old enough science where you should know where internal organs are located and how they function, muscle function, etc. So then what do? Whenever you're in a debate, when your opponent dodges your point and he doesn't answer you directly, you repeat. And you repeat and you repeat. Do not diverge. The one that he doesn't want to answer is the one you need to stick to. So I repeated myself. So I'm asking you if you would have known, if you have a brain, had you not made an appointment to get a scan, since he claims he did so. All those atheists always do. And what's the difference between you and a crazy person, since you both have a brain? So does he answer? No, he dodges. He says, yes, I seen human autonomy in books and video. The brain allows you to think, speak, you remember, etc. The brain is the RAM, HD, and motherboard of human body. Nobody needs a scan to know they have a brain and a heart, etc. So nobody needs the scan to know he has the brain. Why are you talking about that? I didn't catch that the first time. So what's the point then? Why you told me about the brain scan if you don't need the brain scan to prove you have a brain? And I didn't even ask you about a brain in the first place. See how he turned it completely from mind to brain? And then he wants to say, well, the mind is in the brain, so it's enough for me to confirm the brain. So then, okay, what about the crazy people who have brains? You're like those? No answer here. That's how you treat those dumb atheists and those arrogant philosophers and those ignorant so-called scientists. They truly are pseudo-intellectuals. So then I asked him one last time. What I asked you is if you would have known you had a brain had you not done a test. So really he answered that. I didn't catch it. He answered it previously there. So that makes his whole point of mentioning the scan meaningless. No matter what, he cannot escape this argument. But he's so ignorant. He's so arrogant. And he's so dumb that he won't stop. And what's the difference? So there still remains this question. What's the difference between you and a crazy person since you both have brains? And there's a new question. Why you went to get brain scans if you don't need them to prove you have a brain? What you went for? Maybe an anvil fell on his head. Subhanallah wa bihamdi. So that's that. Barakallahu feekum. I hope that was beneficial and maybe that tickled you a little bit. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك